Okay, hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. Hope everybody's safe and well out there tonight. It's been a heck of a week, and we're going to get into that. We do have a guest tonight, like I said on the description. Apparently, Chico had a Bigfoot sighting, and that's all we'll say about that. We'll get to that as we go around the room. Mr. Chico Wise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for having all of us. But side chat, thanks for being here with us for another Friday night Georgia Shooting Connection live stream. We've got a new guest, and if everyone's eyes is working, you can see it's Squats Reloading. And I want to welcome him. And we always got our brother Kyle and brother Scotsman. So everyone, thanks for being here. And I'll do it the easy way. What's up, Kyle?
You got me. I was in the middle of typing. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out and wasting a little bit of time with us because we sure do appreciate it. The week is over. Some of y'all may not be working. Some of you probably still are. My work week has been very strange this week just due to where I live and the county that I work in. It's been a little different, but everybody made it through it, and looking forward to many more to come. Let's see. Who do we want to go next? All right, Squatch, let's have it, brother.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it. It's been one of those weeks, being an essential employee. But in the reloading world, I've been doing a lot of brass prep online. I actually did some Dylan aerobics over there the last week, ran about 4,000 last weekend. So I still got quite a bit on the shelf, but my plan is to run it all out, and you just don't know what's going to happen. So that's what we've been doing all week. And you want me to throw it over to Scotsman or, all right, over to Scotsman. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, what's up, guys? Good to be here as always, and good to have Squatch with us. Absolutely, that's awesome. Glad he could come in and join. And yeah, it's been a long week of work and boredom and all of that good stuff, but lots of good stuff coming. So, and you'll see a comment from Jamie out there that I got ammo. I got lots of ammo thanks to someone showed up today.
Cool. We'll have to get into that hopefully here in a little bit. I want to take a second to welcome our guest, Mr. Squatch Reloading, and I made a couple of comments about his reloading room looking like an operating room, being surgically clean. And nowadays, that anything medical takes on a different connotation, I guess. And we've got Pink Shear Surrender out there somewhere. Surrender, come on back. Did we say anything that made her mad that quick? I hope not. Anyway, I'm sure she'll be back if she can.
I doubt that, brother. She's pretty thick-skinned, and you should see what she's been posting on Instagram.
I've been seeing a couple of her. I saw a couple of her Facebook posts. That was pretty cool. So,
yeah, she ain't offended. One thing I do want to do, and I hadn't seen him in the side chat yet, but Idaho Rogers, USMC, turned me on to a sale, and I picked up a 500 count box of the 308 ammo, and he sent me a text message about the middle of last week, I think, and he said, dude, you're so lucky that you managed to get that order in because I can't find anything. He stopped at every Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops from Florida to Idaho to California, and he hadn't seen nothing.
I'm hearing that some of the companies are blaring. We don't have a shortage. Our shipping is right on time and all that kind of stuff. And you just then I'm getting emails from everybody except for Brownells and Midway. That I think I even got one from Midway yesterday. saying they're 3, 4, and 5 days behind on their shipping. So, yeah.
I have been a little bit bored on the weekends because we've been trying to stay at home. You know, we'll take the dog out and take her on an adventure and everything, but we've been trying to stay home. I got plenty of food and all that here. I don't need to be around the public. I don't like the public. I don't want to be around the public. I've been doing this long before this virus stuff came around. I've got about 300 rounds of 308 loaded up. Sized and primed a bunch of 45 cases. I've loaded about 444 mags and about 244 specials. I'm out of 44 special brass. Chico. I've been sitting around reloading, taking care of presses and stuff like that on the weekends, and then go out and mow the grass. You know, just stay busy. That's all you can do.
James, we're live and in living color, man. What's going on? Are we out? Are we out there? I hope so. Anyway, Sharenda, glad you could join us tonight. I want to introduce you to Squatch Reloading.
The guy with the cleanest reloading room on the planet.
Yeah, we've talked a couple times. I think I sent us some goodies, so we're good.
Did. I got all the guys over here jealous about my LED light.
I'm glad you could use it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And good evening, troublemakers.
Where?
This whole panel.
I think one of the things y'all do on the Tuesday night show, and we were blessed to have Mike last week. It was a real blessing. It was real fun to have on, and he can come back sometimes. And Kyle's already done it, but we talk about what we did. Y'all talk about what you did in shooting and reloading this week. I believe with so many of us being out of work right now, I think all of us have done a pretty good bit of reloading. I've loaded 340 Smith & Wessons and loaded them up with small rifle primers instead of small pistol primers because I'm not paying close enough attention that I should be, but we'll get into that.
I would still shoot one or two just to see what happened. I don't really think there's that big a difference.
Oh, Willie said there's nothing to worry about at all. Just carry on.
Yeah. Pops West did that one year. He I think he got like a killer deal on like 20,000 primers, some of those tool-up primers, small rifle, and he used them for small pistol.
Well, I'll show you what happened. I showed Chico and Squatch last night. Here's the box. Do I need to blow it up? I guess I do. Let me get over here. That says small pistol for standard pistol loads, correct? You open it up. Then it says for small rifle loads. So
now, was that of your doing or misboxed? I don't know.
if I knew the answer to that question, Kyle, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion, bro.
10-4, copy that.
I've had that box for probably a year and a half, so I could have put those in there, and then I could have bought them that way.
The only reason that I'm saying that is because I've done the exact same thing and be like, wait a minute. It was supposed to be small pistol primers and it's large rifle, and they don't fit. You know, you're like, what's going on? What? The primer feeder is doing all kinds of stupid stuff, and what the? And I've done it. I think everybody has, but yeah, I just didn't know if it was boxed that way because I know that they are in extreme high demand, and they may be just shoving anything they can fit in that box and getting it out the door. I didn't know how long you'd had that box.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit last night. We did a test with Squatch, make sure everything's going to work. And Chico's asked me, first thing out of his mouth, did you buy them at Academy? And I'm like, typically I buy the loose boxes because they're the same price at Academy. They're $4 for a box for a sleeve of 100. And if you buy the box of 1,000, it's $40 because you just bought 10 of them and you're going to have to put them in a sack or something. Usually they're out of the box. So I typically won't buy 1,000 from them at $4. I can go, another 30 minutes down the road to Cabela's and get them for $33, $32 a box.
Yeah, I've seen them anywhere from the same Cabela's, $28 to $33, depending on what you're looking for and what day of the week it is.
Yeah, small rifle primers are gone around here. I don't know about Scotsman where he's at, but here in Central Ohio, they're gone. I got 400 VMAX 53 grain up there looking for a home, and I'm out.
Well, we got a local gun store here in Rome that they're selling them for $38 1,000, and I'm thinking, man, that's $5 more than I can buy them for, down at Cabela's, but it's an hour drive. So
I'm sorry, Jamie, go ahead.
It's probably a wash.
One of my coworkers, his daughter's soon-to-be husband is a big reloader, and he went over to Richard and said, "Look at this! You ain't gonna believe this." And I think it was Academy selling 1,000, bricks of primers, 1,000 primers for $399.
Was that a mislabel?
That's what I told Richard. Yeah, I hope that was wrong, because that's not going to be good if they're trying that.
If it was cheaper in dirt, then I believe it.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. Can you believe that crap?
Oh my gosh, not another penny from this guy.
Well, I ain't bought nothing from him in 10 years because of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I couldn't believe they'd just do it that way. This is what I've been doing, aside from the 308s. Got the taco bullet on the top, the Lee tumbleube cone on the bottom. I've been loading a lot of these for the 44. I was really looking forward to our Tennessee trip. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. They're saying they're keeping everything open, and I've been on their website. They're maintaining the social distances and all that stuff. Even on the long range, they're leaving one lane open. No more than 10 people, which is going to suck for us, because if we all show up, we're going to shut the place down, because I know there's more than 10 people.
And that is why we have received a email about 4:00 this afternoon that we will have to be rescheduling.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Yeah, we'll probably have to reschedule.
I've been thinking that for a couple of weeks, but yeah.
Which is good to know now, because at least that's, a decent amount of notice.
Yeah, we can. He said that by the mayoral mandate, no more than 10. So we'll have to reschedule. And I hate to be the one to have to tell you all that, but
yeah, I saw that a little bit on Instagram feed.
Nah, I mean, but yeah, it sucks. But at least we got at least everyone has a sort of an advance notice. So if you're out there, if you've already reserved your hotel room, I'll probably give them a call tomorrow and find. Well, we still don't have a date, so we'll probably at least. I'm sure they'll refund our deposits. I think the only time you lose the deposit if you cancel 24 hours in advance or something like that. So it's well over.
Yeah, I was gonna say most hotels and stuff like that, if you cancel within 48, 72 hours, they give you it all back.
Yeah.
Especially this being a mom and pop joint, I think they'll be more than accommodating.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that we need to get our money back. I mean, all we're going to be doing is postponing it till after all of this.
Right. Well, I was not necessarily getting your money back, but kind of pushing it out.
Yeah,
To
put it on hold until we know what dates it is, and then they can
Yeah.
put us in for those dates instead.
Yeah, the way in, Tread. So,
Andy keeps asking a question. Well, there may not be a need to powder coat the base, but the way that we all powder coat our bullets, you powder coat the whole thing anyway. I don't really understand that, Andy. I'm sorry.
I've always thought that the base would be where I would want the powder coat to keep the gas and the heat from burning the base and burning through and causing leading.
I agree with you, Jamie, but like he says, if you just traditionally lube it, the base is still lead. I mean, makes a good point.
So powder coat the everything but the base. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know how you'd have to charge everything and just spray the tops of it or the sides. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That seems like a whole lot of trouble to me. I'll put the stuff in a ice cream bucket and shake it.
It's he uses the powder coat gun and stuff like that. So
right,
I can see his
Method.
you got to set them on the base, and they've got to have some kind of. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm thinking, Cranky agrees.
Right, it's the driving bands and the sides. And hang on a minute, I'll be right back.
Yep. Here's one right here.
They sure do, Cranky. Come to think of it, but they've got the copper down past the lead too.
Can y'all see that? Man, camera be acting funny lately.
Hold on a minute. Let me get you blowed up here. Focus.
I know, right? There we go.
There you go.
But you see how the lead jacket, the copper jacket goes down past the lead.
Yep.
They kind of ensure that it won't escape around it.
It's that bling. Look, it's blinging too. That's just a 125 grain. This is when I could get bullets long time ago. American Reloading. They are even sold out of everything. A lot of stuff. So I definitely
correct me if I'm wrong, and I see Cranky's comment there about based on the other sides do. We're more worried about lead in the barrel than anything else, right?
Yes.
That's so to me, that comment makes sense where you want to powder coat the sides and make sure it's all covered up so it's not lead in the barrel. But then, Jamie, you were talking about the gases and that affecting it.
Chris is thinking the same way I am. And I don't know. I'm like him. I'm just asking.
I'm still fairly new with casting. I enjoy it. It's good. It's fun. I like doing it. I like the powder coating process. But so, some of these questions like this is a good one for me. I'm not sure.
I'm just absorbing right now. I want to get into it. So
with that, Squatch, do you have any? So every reloading caster always has those beginner questions, and me being I'm still a fairly new reloader and a caster, but I still have those questions. Just those new rookie questions, the concerns and stuff. You got any of those questions, or if not, they will come. I know that's a fact.
Well, I think the biggest question I had, Chico, was, when it comes to like wheel weights and bulk leads you can pick up, I mean, is it just good to just cast it as is, powder coated, or you need to add in other, tin or zinc or anything like that to get the hardness up, or just powder coat it and it's good?
Right. So I'll tell you first, never mix the zinc with the lead because you will destroy your pot. You can ask Kyle. I think he had an accident. So a lot of guys like Andy, 79Z28, he's a zinker, but he's a leader too. So he casts with lead and zinc. I haven't went the zinc route yet, but I got a bucket over here somewhere. But depending on your BHN, and to my knowledge, depending on your BHN, you may have to add something to it. Most of my lead down here comes from wheel weight, so it's fairly hard. But say if you were casting, if you wanted to cast hollow points, you want to make that lead a little more. You want to drop that BHN if it was just wheel weights. And a lot of other guys who does a lot of that stuff in the side chat will be able to expound on it more. I know Andy does, 79Z28. Has Uncle Jim showed up yet?
I haven't seen him yet.
So yeah, but there's other companies like Roto Metals has Lanotype and Lyman #2 stuff that you can add to it. I'll just tell you how I do it. When I smelt down my lead, I smelt down all my wheel weights just in one smelting pot, and then I'll do all my pure lead. And the pure lead normally comes from stick-on wheel weights. It's pure. It's real soft. So
yeah, speaking of Roto Metals, they have a discount code out right now. I think it's pound. We're still open is the checkout code. Get you 10% off.
I got a question for Squatch about the casting. So have you researched or even found any leads on any sources of lead up there?
So I've got a buddy of mine give me a couple like a bucket of wheel weights. I've picked up some ingots when I had the 9124 discount code from Acme, so I got a little bit of that. But I've acquired some lead. I'm just kind of looking at what equipment I want to get into. I definitely want to get into powder coating. I just like to look, and I've shoot Acme blues and all that, and I haven't had any issues with lead in the barrel or anything like that. So that's kind of the route I want to go to. It's just getting to that point and getting over that hump, that learning curve.
Definitely, yeah. Well, we got plenty of experience out there. See James Pollard, there you go. Look at him. I knew somebody was gonna tune in.
Yeah, it's definitely different. You're taking your first jump off the high dive, and you don't know what it's going to feel like when you hit the water. But
he'll be all right. I'm going to make a trip, and we're going to get together and cast and powder coat. And
there you go.
Make that happen here.
Yeah,
this weekend, I believe.
That's
as
cool.
long as we don't get on some kind of DeWine lockdown there, Scotsman, we should be good.
Yep.
That's awesome. Thanks, Scotsman. Appreciate it. I'm glad that y'all two live close enough together where y'all can do that. Although it was a hoot, smelting down some wheel weights on my back porch at midnight. That was great.
That was a lot of fun. Doing it live, too.
Yeah, we did. See, there's no better experience like experience. There's no better training than experience. So it's not hard per se. You just got to make sure you don't get burned, because guess what? That lead is hot. And I think every caster's been burnt at least once or twice. So if you make one mistake,
go at least twice.
I had a Willie moment happen to me the other morning. I think it was Sunday morning. I put an ingot in the pot, and there's still lead on the window. I cast on the back porch where I am right now. It's covered, screened in back porch, and my pot's right behind me, right? Well, you can see it. It's right there. See that window behind it? There's lead splattered up that thing because I don't know why, but and these ingots I've had for it's from when we all were smelting in the backyard. So it's been a year and a half? It's those ingots that I was using. I put one of them in the pot, and it went and just blew hot lead all over my window. I scraped most of it off, but it took me a little bit. I had to go to the bathroom and use some of the precious toilet paper, but it was different.
If I may be so bold, MCK Mark, we're going to have to postpone the trip to Dead Zero, buddy. We got an email from Dead Zero today saying that the mayor has said that we can't have more than 10 people out there at a time. So we're going to just push it back till after this is over with, and hopefully it either won't be too hot or it won't be too cold. So,
or it won't be right in the middle of their fall leaf watching season and the hotel be full.
Well, after deer season opens, I'm going to be missing in action anyway. I'm sorry, Samantha. Go ahead.
I was saying, is that really a thing, the leaf falling action?
Yeah, well, you don't have trees where you live. Okay, never mind. It is a thing for especially that area because it's real mountainous and because it's up in the mountains. It is a huge thing for people to take the weekend or a week or whatever and ride around and go, ooh, pretty. Look at the reds and the yellows. And, oh, that's a nice creek. You know, we may be boring. I don't know, but that's what people in the South do.
James Pollard, it is 8:28, and that is the time for Chico to do that thing he does.
Yeah, we'll do it. James Pollard queuing me in over there. Drag racing down the street. Sorry. Okay, very first one I see right at 8 o'clock was Andy 79Z28. James Pollard was 2. OL1 guy, Fuzz T Fork 8. Jerry 1911. Daniel God is my judge. Kingpin. The Crazy Scotsman is on the panel with us. OCD Outdoors. Big E. Joe Lead Slinger, hey brother. Thoughts of an Old Soldier, Tacos and French Fries. Andre D'Angelo, Ghost Rider, hey brother. Kyle Luss is on the panel with us. Pink Shears on the panel with us. Jeremy Gunslinger, hey sir. We got Squatch is on the panel with us. Vanessa Kitty, Floyd Hicks, Signal Soldier 31, Chris 338, Larry Palmer, hey brother. He said, Opposite Planet's way behind on shipping. Yep. We got Max Bear. Reload 762. Let's see who. Max Rampley. He said, hey, y'all, I welcomed him to the stream. I wasn't familiar, but thanks for being here with us.
That's my nephew, Chico.
Okay. I assumed that, but I didn't want to assume. We know about that, assuming what assuming does. 67 Rebel SST AMC. We got Andy 79Z28, Tread, 6-shooter Texan, Lead Bullet Junkie. It's a lot of y'all out there. What is mine showing? It's showing a lot of y'all. We got somebody else. Red Raider Reloading, Cranky Cletus. Brody 556. Hey, bro. Jeremy Gunslinger. MCK, Jeremy Gunslinger. I'm almost to the bottom. Pony _47. And that is it. Everyone, thanks for joining us. Hope you're not on lockdown. If you are, stay in the house.
Okay, I need to say a couple of things. First of all, Max Rampley is my nephew. That's my sister's son. My sister lives about 3 doors down on the other side of the road. He recently, y'all congratulate him. He recently purchased his first firearm, which was check it out, Scotsman, a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield in 9mm with the Crimson Trace light and laser. So, boy did pretty good.
He did pretty good right there. The only way he could do better is if he bought like a 686 or
420 or 629.
629, 29,
Yeah.
27, 28,
17, 27, 580.
19.
He'll get there, man. He's still in college.
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
So
Yep. Congratulations.
Yep, congrats. So when's he gonna start loading?
we'll be pulling a crank handle here pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. So
He ain't gonna load. He said, I got an uncle that load.
He's just gonna shoot.
Hey,
Right.
Squatch. How
Yeah.
how old is Mini Squatch?
She is she's actually gonna turn 10 here pretty soon, a couple weeks. So
So tell your nephew there's a 10-year-old that's already started.
I've got all of them doing it right now, at least decapping. My 14-year-old, she's ran the Dillon a couple times, but that's why I got into doing videos anyways, is if something happens, all this information's right there for my kids and they can look it up. And I was lucky, my grandpa was a reloader. I just got his books, and a couple memories, but hopefully this will carry on with them.
the other thing I wanted to say, don't forget 57. Is that 5-7, Chris?
What's that?
Yeah, Max wants to shoot it a few times before he starts
Okay.
loading. We got to get you and your cousin over here. Both of y'all got to learn to reload. Anyway, back to the casting thing. There's some sections in this book in the front of it. Squatch. This is the Lee Modern Reloading Second Edition. You probably have this book. Before you start casting, I would read the first part of this book before you get to the load manual, the load data. And
Yep.
some guys out there on the side chat will tell you to, the Smith & Wesson Model 57. Yeah. So read the first chapters in this book. And if you look on what page was it, Scotsman? 112?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think you guys a couple weeks ago recommended the Lyman casting manual. I did pick that up and been reading that one too.
Well, you didn't let me finish. I was going to pull it out and show that here. Yeah, that's a must-have.
That's all right. I'll be bringing all kinds of good stuff down with me.
So, nope, I was wrong. It's page 113.
You were close though.
No, that's not what I'm looking for either. Pressure reduction, the 1 grain factor. Actually, I think what I'm looking for is I got no clue.
Damn,
Here we go.
I think
Page 107.
that's in Lee's book, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the chart right there on page 107 that tells you what the BHN hardness that relates to the pressure that your round is generating. Now, you got to keep in mind that this is for traditionally lubed or ALOX lubed bullets. Now, powder coating changes the game totally and completely. Georgia Boy 44 has been doing some expansion tests with some really soft bullets that are powder coated out of his 44 Magnum and his 357 Magnum. And yeah, it's eye-opening. And he's getting no leading. So when you powder coat your first bullets, do yourself a favor. Take one over and set it on an anvil or on the sidewalk or something, and smash it with a sledgehammer, and see if that powder coating chips off. The answer is no, it will not. So if it can withstand being hit with a sledgehammer, it's going to withstand the pressure of that powder charge pushing it down that barrel.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest question, getting into it, Jamie, is, when it comes to lead and the different BHN and all that, does a powder coat allow you to use a softer metal or a softer lead, like for pistol rounds, or do you need to make sure you get that BHN up so you're not letting the barrel? I think that was, one of the things I've been diving into recently anyways.
Well, see, if you get a bullet too hard for the powder charge, so if you're running a BHN, let's say 22, and you're not pushing it out there at 2,000, 2,100, 2,200 feet per second, you're going to burn around the edges if it's not sized perfectly. So, yeah.
That's all good stuff. I mean, so I got an engineering background, so that's kind of, I think, why I've been so curious about it. And, too, my daughter shoots, and we shoot a ton of 9mm, and that's where I want to get started, at least from a, like shooting steel challenge and stuff like that. I want to make sure I get a good bullet that's not going to let up our barrels, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Chris, I'm glad you said that, because I do the same thing and didn't want to admit it.
That was my next question.
Yeah, if you're running powder coated bullets, especially if they're gas checked design, Butterbean, that dog don't hunt, bud. Let me do you a favor and just tell you you're barking up the wrong tree trying to do cast bullets in an AR. Now, with bolt guns and 223, it's a different story. But I've only heard of one guy, and I think that's James Pollard, getting any kind of decent groups out of a cast bullet with an AR. So I'm not the only one. Junkie's doing it too.
Yeah, I do the same way. Because you can't always find data on just the lead bullet. So you go to the next best thing and then work kind of in between that minimum and maximum, and just kind of work your way up to find what you need.
Yeah, I generally start in the middle and go both ways at once.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll use jacketed or plated. If there's an option for plated, I use plated first, because it's my understanding that the plating is a wash. Basically, it's like a chemical etched on. So it's ideally, I think it may be a little bit softer than the jacket, more similar, but you're not always gonna find that plated data unless you probably got the lead book. I know a lot of people don't like the lead book. I think all my books serve a purpose because I cross-reference all of them. So,
okay, Tread's back. Brody, I used to do that too until I got such a big supply of softer lead. Now I kind of mix it up and try to be economical. Don't you, Chico?
it is that same thing. Yeah. When I first got into it, all I got was actually my first lead score. It was kind of, I think it was like 80% of it was clip-on wheel weights, and like the other 20% was stick-on wheel weights. but I separated it out, and then so now what I'll do when I fire up my pot, I'll try to mix it 50-50. So depending on if I'm casting hollow points or but Reloader 762 out there told me that, just like if y'all see his comment, he was saying he pushes 50-50 mix to like 2,300 feet per second out of a rifle, and he's got a lot of information too, especially on casting also. So that's where I got the beads from, Jamie. The beads trick.
Yeah.
The pony beads. I know a lot of people use. Let me tell you, when I first got the powder coat, I couldn't stand the airsoft BBs. They didn't work for me. And Reloader 762 is on a lot of forums and stuff like that. He's on Discord and TRN. So he's on all the other forums. And I came across his post. He was using the pony beads, like for what you put in the little girl's hair, and it generates a static electricity so you can shake and bake, and it works perfect, in my opinion. Your mileage may vary. Crickets.
All right.
So,
Yes.
Jamie, I got a question for you.
Shoot, man.
So I kind of got your opinion on the 223 or 5.56 as far as doing casting. I see a lot of guys doing like 300 blackout for subsonics. What are your thoughts there, or what's everyone's thoughts with that?
I don't own a can, so therefore I'm not qualified to answer that question.
Same here.
I think Uncle Jim, and who else are those can loving guys? I love a can too. I just don't own one yet.
I'm reconsidering my yet.
Yeah, but I know Elvis Ammo did a lot of work on that 300 black. Actually, you know what? Ozark Spirit, Kyle Luss, right there. That they did a 300 blackout Tres Amigos, and that so. But I'm unqualified to answer that question. When Kyle comes back, he can expound on it. But I think everything suppressed is cool. That's just me though. But squats, we've already talked about why that is too though, and a lot of you guys know in the side chat. So I think suppress is so cool.
Yeah, whenever you can run suppressed, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I was at the range today, and I don't know about y'all, but a lot of us have those electronic ear pro, and when we were at the range day back in October, me and Jamie, it was Facts and Firearms, and their guys had those jellies. Y'all familiar what I'm talking about? The gel cups. You rip off your other ones and buy this, and because if you're at the range even 30 minutes, you got your eye pro on and you got those. It might be me and I got little ears, but my ears hurt from the headphones. I guess it pushing up against my. So that's one thing about suppressed shooting. I know when we were down there, they was like suppressor fire only, and everybody could take off their ear pro, and they was shooting 300 blackout. They was shooting, what was that big lever gun, Jamie, that the guy had suppressed?
Oh golly, it was
4570. Was it?
Yeah, and he had 4590 too.
Yeah.
He had some big ones.
It didn't hurt your ear at all. So but yeah, I'm gonna go that route, suppress. My first can will be a 22 though, so I can get over that hump and learn more about it. But I've shot and suppressed a few times, but like I know Uncle Jim does it. And Kyle knows about subs for 300 blackout. Him and Ozark Spirit, definitely.
Yeah, I don't have a suppressor yet, but I'm definitely thinking 22 cal, like a little takedown 22 charger or something like that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. I just, just like reloaders, I say I should have did it 2 years before I started, or 3 years before. I should have bought a can 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years ago. It never crossed my mind.
Yeah, we can't do solvent traps anymore.
I thought about one, but here we were up to a 16, 18-month wait, and I wasn't cool with spending that kind of money and not having it that long.
You know what? I had hoped that the HPA Act was going to go through. That's the Hearing Protection Act. But then if you think about what's going on right now, or what went on a few days ago. Nobody could find ammo because it's readily available. It's not restricted in certain states like, the dirty South down here, and a lot of you other people, you don't have to have the FOIL card or whatever to get your ammo. If they was to pass the HPA Act, guess what? You would not find a suppressor. It would be that they would sell out, because I'd buy like 5 of them. I'm not gonna keep it real.
5, hell, I'd buy 10.
No, right? but that's the thing. So I was like that too, Pink Shears, about the time limit. But Full Lead Taco told me, he said, whenever you do your first one, in a couple months, buy another one. He said, man, and then the suppressors will be rolling in behind each other like every 2 months.
Well, the other thing too is depending on where you get it at, if it's a range as well, a lot of times they'll let you go in the range, put it on, and shoot it.
Yes, that's true.
So you're technically still waiting for it, but you can enjoy it and have some fun with it.
Yeah, that also meant I would have to buy a new gun too, because why not?
That'd be
That's
such a terrible thing.
Or you can just get your existing guns threaded.
Chico. Oh, extra gun.
Extra gun just for the sub. Yeah, I feel. Let's see. We miss any comments?
Yeah. There's this one particular website that I go to, and it's got an app, and it's unlike Scotsman's video today. It's total China. Everything's from China, and I probably won't call no names, but its initials are Wish. And they sell a lot of. Every time I get on there looking for anything, they try to sell those quote unquote solvent traps. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, all you gotta do is drill the holes through the baffles, and there you go.
So
they even center punch them for you.
So I've even looked into that, and what it is, and I talked to X-Ring about it. Him and Is Your Six covered, because they also do a lot of suppressor videos lately on their channel. There's a Form 1. You can fill out a Form 1, but I said my first suppressor is gonna have to be a real. I want to go through the whole process, but the Form 1s come back in about 2 to 3 months. The only thing with the Form 1, you gotta find somebody that's gonna put the serial number on it. You gotta find somebody to drill the baffles or whatever to do all that work. You have to do all of that. You have to fill out that Form 1 before you put your hands on that solvent trap. Interesting though. I was thinking 3 months I can have a can, but it's like a DIY type deal.
I've heard they work. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know either. Don't leave us, Kingpin. Have a good weekend, brother. Stay safe, and thanks for dropping by.
Hey, so Charles Irby's out there. Is he asking about Squatch's name, or?
I think so. I think he's asking where the whole Squatch comes from.
Okay, well, I'm kind of a big guy. I'm only 6'2", maybe 225, something like that. But my wife, her nickname's Squirrel, so we kind of had this thing, Squatch and Squirrel, and it's been like that for, I don't know, five years, 5 years or so. So it kind of stuck. And when I was deciding to put this channel together, it was natural just to be Squatch because of Squatch and Squirrel. So that's kind of where the name come from. But as far as the channel, I think I got into a little bit earlier. It's my goal was to mainly leave something behind for my kids when they get older, my grandkids, if they ever want to get into it, they have something to look back on. Because my grandpa was a reloader, and all I had was was notes and memories to go from. So I'm hoping, to kind of leave a legacy for them. That was the whole intention. So there you go.
Very
Can I
cool.
add a question onto your story, Squatch?
Absolutely.
Are you saving your videos for them on like DVD or another format? Because this
Oh.
platform will randomly delete your stuff when it feels like
Yeah,
it.
I knew YouTube was kind of iffy to from the get-go when I got into it. I'm way late in the game. But yeah, everything's being saved for them digitally on hard drives and stuff. So hopefully I can, work with them hand in hand like I have been doing, but you just never know what's going to happen. So leaving a legacy, that's it right there.
That's excellent, man. And one of the biggest reasons I started doing videos is kind of like you. I don't have my own kids, but I got 3 nephews. My brother has kids, and I don't get to see them because obviously they're way back home, thousands and thousands of miles away. And so I did this, kind of started the channel for them so they can see their uncle and kind of see what's going on. Not every video is for them, obviously. Some of the videos are a little teen rated and all the rest of it, but my brother knows which ones they can obviously watch and can't watch.
Yep, YouTube's good that way, but us as reloaders and the ever-changing policies and procedures, you just never know.
That is true.
Hey, Idaho. Welcome, brother. Cranky's up your backside, bud.
Cranky needs to behave.
Hey, Idaho, guess what? I didn't get a notification either.
That's been happening lately. Yeah.
Well, it sent me mine this time 30 minutes early, which I thought was kind of crappy.
Well, Charles, we're glad you're here, bud.
Yep. Yes, sir. Also, Squats, Charles Irby has a lot of good information on that. He is like the mix master. I just want to put it out there because the way he does his if you watch any of his videos when he's doing his lead melting, he'll bring out the scale and he'll be sawing an ingot in half. So he has a formula too for mixing alloys, getting that hardness what you want. So I'd say check some of his stuff out.
Absolutely. I'm taking notes here as we go. So
yeah, Charles Irby's got some good stuff. He told me when I cast my hollow points, I posted it on Discord or something, and he was like, "What kind of mixture you using?" I was like, "I don't know. I just threw it in the pot." And he was like, "One day you're gonna learn that you're gonna have to mix that stuff correctly." And I'm like, "Yeah, I got you," because I think this was right when Georgia Boy and Charles Irby was doing the mushroom and Uncle Jim doing the mushroom test. So you want those. Everyone knows you want those hollow points to expand. You want them to mushroom. So if it's Georgia cast wheel weight, it's not gonna do that. But I promise it was not. I had some soft lead in there. I just didn't know the percentage. I think I mixed half and half. But
so Brody, when you buy wheel weights, do you not get any of the stick-on ones? If not, man, that's very cool. But yeah, we get stick-ons, we get zinc, we get steel, but those stick-on ones are pure lead. They're a lot softer than the clamp-on wheel weights.
yeah, we even get those composite ones. I did a video back, I don't know, maybe a year ago on sourcing lead and what to look for, and because like I said, I know you don't want to put it in your pot if it's suspect. Most wheel weights, they're gonna have an identifier on it, especially for the zinc. If it's zinc, it's gonna have a ZN on it. Might be hard to see, but you want to separate that, and or at least I do anyway. Some people throw it all in a pot, and if it floats to the top, they scoop it out. But I separate mine out.
Do any of you guys mess around with like batteries or battery terminals or anything like that, or is it just not even worth it with the risk there associated?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't do the batteries, but those battery terminals, especially if they don't have a lot of corrosion on them, I'll throw them in with my soft lead because they're soft.
Right.
And then, when you do and I've got a few of them because I take them off vehicles I work on all the time because people's always damaging them. And but those battery terminals, the ones you can buy aftermarket, they got a nice little chunk of lead in it.
Yeah.
Hey, Rigby, how you doing?
Hey, Rigby.
She's got a phone. That's what keeps them occupied. That's what my son is on upstairs.
He's got a taco going there.
Tacos.
Yeah, we went Greek tonight. She brought what do you call these? Gyros. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's where I'm at. I'm eating dinner. I'll be right back.
That's a big old euro. You sure you're gonna be right back?
Where's my hand at? Oh.
I think he's going to be a minute.
He's a big boy. He'll be able to handle it.
Yeah, it's a few comments like Reloader 762 said no batteries, terminals are fine. Lead Bullet Junkie said the same thing. And I think the batteries is just too much work and the health risk about it. It is a lot of work to do. I've seen somebody do a battery on YouTube somewhere. It wasn't anyone that was like in our community, but I did see a guy. He opened it up and I was like, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I got everyone I know looking for lead, and they're collecting it for me. So we'll get there.
Yeah, man. But before you know it, you'll have buckets on buckets of it.
Yeah, he will. I got a few connections this way too, so there's plenty of lead to be had.
Are you on the northeast side of the state, Scotsman, or were you in relation to Columbus?
Yeah, I'm on northeast.
I got you.
I'm just on the other side of Cleveland. I mean, literally, it's to you, it's probably about an hour and a half at most.
I got you.
It's not a big deal.
Tom Olson. Hey, bro. I always mess that up. Tom O. Hey, bro. Let's see who else we got out there. Anybody else in the side chat? Anybody else casting this weekend? Maybe. And you know what? That's another thing. Reloader 762 said when we were talking about the hollow points, he said it span and still stay together, basically. Yeah. Let's see.
So I woke up and there was a package.
Oh, you got a
And I knew
mail.
the package was coming, but man, I still can't believe he did it. But not one box, 500 rounds.
Nice.
So on 6.5 Creedmoor, I'm good to go for quite a while. And Insight Freedom, love you, brother. Still gonna kick your ass.
You deserve it, brother. You God dog, you Amazon a lot of people.
I do what I can, dude.
That's what this community is all about. That's just the bonus of it.
So, someone else just got Amazon. I'm not sure when it will show up. Let's see. Ordered it today, probably Sunday or Monday. Going to good old California.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it'll have to go through a few checkpoints before it gets there. George Gooden, welcome, brother. Broke Loader, hey. Let's see. Jeremy Gunslinger.
OCD, there is a lot of lead in a car battery, but it's been really mushed up with all that lead, all those chemicals, acid, everything else. I wouldn't want to be around it when it's being smelted. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But back to our postponing of our get together, guys. I wouldn't call up there and cancel my hotel reservations. I'd just call up there and tell them that we need to postpone them. If they want to give us our money back, I mean, we can take it and start all over from scratch. But maybe by then, Squatch can join us.
Hey, it's pretty close for me. I'm in. You don't have to ask me twice.
It's not that far, but we'd love to have you, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely in.
Get you up there and Sharinda, and she can stop by and pick up the Emperor. And
Hell yeah.
I'd like to see them two come pulling up to Dead Zero or the Weigh In. And
That would be beyond badass.
that would.
We'd have to come up with the theme song so we can blast it on the radio.
I like how she just kind of covered that up, but it was fun. I'm not gonna lie, I was ready to bust out laughing.
Yeah, George Gooden makes a good point. But still, you know what, guys? It is sources of lead out there. They may not be. I will tell you what, and I say this a lot of times. If you go to a scrapyard, no, actually, my first time I got some lead, the scrapyard gave it to me for free. But I didn't tell him I was casting bullets. But that's what the guy asked me. He was like, "Have you heard about those people who makes bullets from lead?" I was like, "Huh?" I'm just playing dumb for him. He was like, "Yeah, you know, lead is in bullets." I said, "Is it?" I'm just like, I said, "Well, you know, me and my son, we cast fishing sinkers." So the guy was like, "Hey, Jimmy, bring that bucket over here." And he gave me the bucket. I was like, "Thank you, man. How much I owe you?" He was like, "Nothing." I was like, "Okay, never tell him that you're casting bullets." But the other guy, he turned around, he said, if you make something good, bring me something back. So I think he knew anyway. I don't know, but I wasn't admitting to it. Because if you tell him you're making bullets, guess what? The price just went up. So that's my opinion about it.
I think you can just tell them you're making those weights for them Pinewood Derby cars too for the Cub Scouts. That'll get their emotion involved.
Man, I need to make a dive belt.
I just don't understand that. I mean, I guess I do in a way, but yeah. Yeah, Jeremy, you just need to drop them off at Grandma's house and get your butt on up there. That's what I'm thinking. But we got to get a firm date, so we're back at the date waiting game, I guess. So we'll be in touch with them, and they've got our email. They told us they would reschedule as soon as they could, and Jeremy, I'm glad that load worked for you, buddy. I am. So that's pretty cool. One of the things Squatch and I talked about last night about what we wanted to talk about tonight was one of his videos was talking about getting our cartridge overall length in for pistol rounds. And remember what we talked about, Squatch, about sometimes we have a tight chamber, and sometimes that cartridge overall length goes below what the minimum cartridge overall length is in our data. So what do we do when we get that situation?
Well, I tell you, Jamie, the first time I ran into it, I shoot a lot of CZs for competition guns. I like the CZ TSO and the Shadow 2, and I got into the Acme bullets. And the bullet profile is such that you can't just set it like at 113, 114, 150, or 115 or whatever. And I was getting where I was having some failures to eject, or it wasn't going into battery. And I started just doing some engineering work, and what I found was that the bullet was digging into the lands and the grooves of the bullet. And those projectiles specifically, I had to seat at like 1.09, and all the data indicated 112 or 113. So then trying to understand pressures and your charge weights and things like that, and I think you were saying it wasn't linear as far as how far you seat it and what those charge weights are, but you have to make some adjustments and think about that. And the best way to check that, and I do it with anything I get cast, commercial cast or whatever, is I check everything to one of my CZ barrels, because all my other barrels are a lot looser. So I set everything to my tightest barrel as far as overall length.
Yeah, plunk testing is essential, especially with CZ, because of how tight they are.
Yeah,
and Frankie, you can go ahead and make a joke on how tight they are if you want. But yeah, no, I had issues with the Acme too, because I used those for competition as well, and I was having seating issues where I'd get about 90% shooting just fine, and the other 10% would lock up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to do the same kind of thing. I had to make just a hair adjustment to seat that bullet just a little bit more, and then kind of adjust for pressures and watch for pressure signs and everything else, just to make sure I wasn't going over pressure or whatever. But
yeah,
with Acme, you got to be real careful, because that profile, and when you click on the website, you'll see it says new profile that they have on that new bullet profile. It's a lot slimmer than the one before.
Yeah,
there's I'm not exactly sure the diameter off the top of my head, but it's a lot slimmer. So you really do have to pay attention to your seating depth.
Yeah, I see a lot of guys on the groups and stuff, they're buying like Blues or Acmes or some other commercial cast, and they're asking for recipes on length. And I always tell them, you need to check it to your tightest chamber and work from there, work up cast data from there. Because if you're going to, use 124 grain, like a JHP or a plated bullet, you're going to get into some problems. So you really need to not go fishing for loads, but or recipes, and really need to work those up for your barrel and your gun. So,
yep, I agree, and that changes per bullet profile. So if you're shooting a round nose and then you switch to a truncated cone, that overall length, it could be the same weight bullet. It would definitely change. I had that happen when I first got into it. I was fine with the round nose. I had a load worked up. It worked good. I probably ran 1,000 bullets or something. I had it just on standby, and I was like, I got this truncated cone, and I wasn't thinking right. I was like, it should be the same thing. And I went to the range. I even plunk tested, and I think on my fourth shot, it locked up the gun, and I was like, what in the world? And I found out, yep, anytime you switch anything and reload, you got to rework everything. So, but I've had somebody ask me that about a seating depth, but it, like you said, for your barrel, it's gonna depend in the bullet profile.
I agree. And that's one of the things that I was having to seat these cast bullets in the 40. I was having to seat them a good bit below what the cartridge overall length was for the same bullet weight in a jacketed bullet, but it was a total different design. So I did some math, and once I got my math figured out, I realized that the combustion chamber in there, the area where the powder is and it's loose in there, was pretty much the same size. So I just loaded them the way I was going. And
you're not running the same 40 cal mold that I am, are you?
I am.
That 175 single loop groove?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was using data for the Hornady XTP 180 grain bullet, because these actually weigh 182 grains after they're cast and powder coated.
I had to play around with mine as well.
So what I did was I took, luckily I had one of those 180 grain XTPs here. So I took a measurement of how long it was. Then I took a measurement of how long that cast bullet was and did the math. And it turned out that they had within 1,000th of being the exact same amount of the bullet inside the brass. So that's how I went about determining my charge weight. Basically, I added the length of the bullet to the length of the brass and then subtracted the cartridge overall length on both bullets. And then subtracted the two, and I got 30 thousandths and 31 thousandths. So I thought 1,000th wasn't going to make that much difference in the pressure, so I just went with that data.
Yeah, and that's all part of the fun, actually. You get to play around with different bullet shapes and stuff like that, especially when you got a good buddy like Jamie that'll let you borrow their mold. You can cast up a bunch, and you can play around with bullet depth and that kind of stuff. It just adds to the fun. And once you get everything set up and you know that it works in what you're going to shoot it out of, then you can go into production mode and end up with a bucket full and be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really, if you have a 6 cavity, it really doesn't take that long. You can knock them out super, super quick.
And you got Willie and Uncle Jim with these 10 and 12 cavity molds. I'm like, how do you pick that up?
I got a 4-cavity Seiko mold. It's a heavy. The 4-cavity Seiko is pretty heavy.
That's a straight on beast mode right there.
So I know the 10 cavity's heavy.
I know they're not out there casting for an hour. God, they'd have forearms like Popeye. Jesus. I mean, because it's not 10 and 12 cavities for small bullets. I mean, they're talking 44 Magnum, 357. I mean, there's 8 pounds of lead in that damn thing when they're holding it.
Yeah, that one Uncle Jim's got is a 10 cavity. The one Willie's got's an 8 cavity. And
I would love to have one, but man,
the sprue plate on it is so big and thick because it has a channel on the top that
you got to have a sledgehammer to cut the sprue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lead Bullet Junkie ain't wrong. The 10 cavities can drain a pot in 35 minutes.
No, easy.
I can do that just casting 44 Magnum bullets with a 6 cavity mold.
I was gonna say I can, knock that out pretty fast. I'm still trying to find the 6 cavity mold for 44, but I got the 2 cavity thanks to Chico and Jamie.
Well,
we'll get those cast in here soon.
What are you looking for? I mean, I got this truncated cone. It's a Lee. It's a tumble lube design, but I love this bullet. It casts great. It loads easy. It's a stand-up bullet. And those 6 cavity molds are available all over the place.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I want because I know you. We're not going there.
I had a question for you guys. Just out of curiosity, when you guys are pouring into the mold, how long does it take to set before you can release them?
Great question.
About that long.
10, 15 seconds max. Depends on how hot the mold is.
Okay.
What you do?
You get to learn it real quick. I mean, the first time I cast, I had the same question for Jamie, Chico, and Kyle. I had them all on the phone all at the same time, but going back and forth with all of them and getting advice. And everyone, these guys are all great, and everyone out in the side chat too. Everyone, anytime we reach out to each other, Everyone responds super, super quick, and everyone's really helpful, and it's awesome. But no, it really doesn't take long. I mean, it's literally kind of like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and just kind of watch, just make sure it sets, and then just go.
What you're going to have your mold in your hand. You're going to pour the hot lead in there, however you do it, whether it's a bottom pour pot or you got a ladle, whatever. Well, it's going to be liquid, right? And it's going to be a shiny silver liquid because it's liquid lead. All you're going to do is wait for that to frost over and then go, I love this country, and cut the sprue plate.
Right.
It'll freeze around like when he says frost over, like it'll be liquid and it'll turn solid real quick in about 2-3 seconds.
It'll
Yeah, it
turn.
doesn't take long.
It'll go from shiny mirror finish to frost.
And usually by the time you pour the second cavity or the last cavity, the first one's already set up.
Yeah, it doesn't take long at all.
Yep.
So when you guys coat, how much additional time does that take to get it to dry?
You talking about powder coating?
Any coating. So break it down on both aspects for me.
Powder coating is very simple. I use 1 gallon ice cream buckets that I get from the local Aldi's. The kids love ice cream. I'm not afraid of ice cream. So those. Thank you.
Family size.
And those work great. And you can put a bunch of bullets in that bucket. I can do.
I actually got.
What you got?
I said I actually got that from Kyle.
Family size.
You can put probably 300 bullets in it at one time, doing the same motions as if you were doing 10 or 300. It's the same process, takes the same amount of time. You get them coated, you dump them out on a wire basket that you can get a roll of wire from Home Depot in the gardening section. They call it rabbit wire, I think. It's in the gardening section. It's going to be outside. We're going to have it in rolls. Just cut it out, make a basket out of it that'll fit your toaster oven, and you can pick up a toaster oven at Goodwill for $5. Anyway, fill your basket up all the way to the dang top with bullets. Sit it in there. I do it about 13 to 15 minutes at 300 degrees. I don't see a reason to go 400 degrees for 30 minutes or 20 minutes, or I don't see a reason for that. I do it until it cooks the coating and you're done. Then I just dump it in a 5-gallon bucket of water and I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, I quench when I cast and then I quench after I powder coat. But I get one of these. This come from Bed Bath and Beyond or Walmart for what, $4 or $5. And
Is that mesh or solid?
This mesh, and it's kind of plated, unlike that hardware cloth you get from Tractor Supply. And then you just take it. I just put this on top of a piece of cardboard, and then after I get my bullets coated real good, I just dump them in that, and then I shake them and let all of the excess powder coat fall through onto that piece of cardboard, put it back in the container, and then I stand all my bullets up on their bases and throw them in there for 20 minutes for 400 degrees, and then dump them. And I use the silicone mat to, if I'm working that hard on a bullet, I'm not going to do any of that basket thing. It makes it scars them up. Now, Chico and Kyle both are going for volume, so they'll.
Well, it doesn't really scar them up that bad. I don't mind little blips in the finish because I know it's been coated. You can see it might not be blue in that one little bitty spot, but it's shiny. So it's been coated. I don't have any problems with leading, and I do as much as that basket will hold at a time. So, like John's hand loadings Avatar, I do about 2 of those in one powder coating session. It's just easier that way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I want to actually what I do it is, you know, those plastic things that come in a box of factory ammo. It's got the little holes in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd get a pair of tweezers and just dump them in there and that, and put them on a piece of cardboard, and then I put my tray that goes to my toaster oven. I set it down on top of it, then turn it over, and then put it on the tray, and then carefully pick those little plastic things up so I won't knock them over.
Jamie, I love you, but that's way too much work.
But
in the time it takes you to get ready to powder coat, I can be on my second batch of 300.
I'm out looking like that.
Well, hang on a minute. Oh. Let's go. All right. Everybody knows that white is a very tough color to coat, correct?
I do now.
There you go. See that little blemish right there? I'm not worried about that at all.
Did you just powder coat those?
No, these are a couple of years old.
Oh,
Those couple of little nicks right there, if I can get the light to hit them, you can see that they're glossy. They're coated, just the white didn't coat them. Now, if I go into the same and grab a blue one, this is the Eastwood light blue. It is beautiful. There are no marks on here whatsoever. Anybody see a mark? Anybody see a mark? Well, right there, you see a little nick.
Yeah, barely. But you know what?
If that's all you get, then. And this is a combination of Eastwood forest green, white. This is just leftover powder. Forest green, white, and I think there's a little bit of blue and a little bit of red in there. But it coats beautifully. And these are 150 grain, 30 caliber bullets, Lee flat point. I don't have a problem doing them 200, 300 at a time.
Yeah, Sharon, what matters to me, in my opinion, if you start off with a good powder coat, that's gonna be the thing that's gonna help. Like a Eastwood or powder coat store or powder by the pound. My very first time I powder coated, I bought powder coat from Summit Racing. That's because I'm a gearhead and I was down there picking up some parts. And I was like, powder coat, let me grab some. And it probably would have worked a little better if I'd have got a different color, but I got gray and I got black. And I didn't know as much as I know now. So now normally what I do, especially if I send out somebody a package, I'll put some of that same powder in that package, the gray and the black or something like that. And I use those as mixers, or the same thing when I sent you those bullets. I think they were purple and white and purple and gray. And so whenever you mix a few, they don't mix like primary colors, like, you know, blue and red makes purple. No, it took me, I don't even know the combination I did to make that purple. So,
Yeah, I think you need to try to make those again and then send them this way so I can see if
I got you. I'm gonna
you
see
know,
the same.
make the same standards that you did the last time.
It's like what PC Bullet Empire. I sent him some bullets, and he goes, "Oh, these are gorgeous. They're like robin eggs." I haven't been able to duplicate that color since.
Oh man, when I did a demo and I took some of the ones that Chico gave me, all those ladies were like, "Ooh, can we make dummy rounds with those so we can practice with them, dry fire?" And I was thinking, I really wasn't sharing these with you guys, but sure.
Here's pretty close to the robin egg color. This is powder coat, Eastwood blue, Eastwood white, Eastwood red, and no, Harbor Freight red. I'm trying to use up the Harbor Freight red, but that's
I
close
just
to
kind of did
the
a suicide.
that's close to the robin eggs that I sent to Tim that he loved so much. Uh-oh, I'm tooting.
I found out last night, and this is interesting. I actually found out last night. There's a local paint store that I get 30% off due to
What?
where I work.
Hmm.
So I got to double check and make sure if they carry powder coat or not. Because if they do, that'll be a heck of a deal.
Yep, that would be the way to go.
Yeah, I was so damn bored last night. I'm just browsing through the company website and found something pretty cool.
Dang it, Scotsman. I ain't never been so bored. I browse through my company's website. I get enough of that shit for the 8 hours I'm there.
Yeah, it was pretty boring last night.
Coronavirus. We're gonna put the employee handbook under a microscope.
But like for Sharinda and Squats, when you guys get, ladies and gentlemen, when y'all get into like powder coating, it's not that hard. I mean, you're gonna fail first of a couple times. It's not hard. Don't let me say that. But if you do, you just get better, and then you find proven ways that works for you. Humidity plays a part. You know what area, what region you in, what room you're in, your powder coating, and anybody will tell you that. So you'll find out the sweet spot, and you'll be making pretty bullets. And
I try to do most of my powder coating, which is why I do it the way I do it. I cast up a crap ton of bullets, and maybe in several different sessions, and I'll powder coat them at one time. I do most of my powder coating over the winter, and then I start storing bullets in spaghetti jars, and it really drives Angel crazy.
I'll agree with Chico exactly. First time I powder coated, the first set I did, no problems, came out great. Second set I did, I melted half of them. the oven got too dang hot, even though I didn't change the temperature. It just got too dang hot on its own, and it melted half the damn bullets.
Damn, how hot your toaster oven go?
I was using one of the toaster ovens that I picked up, and I didn't change the temperature whatsoever on it. And somehow it just got so dang hot. When I went to take them out, half of them were melted.
Damn. And Cranky's right. The best part about casting and powder coating, you mess up, melt it back down.
Exactly. And I was going to say that earlier too, when we were talking about trying to mix, when Squatch was asking about mixing different things together, save your old bullets. Your old bullets are great to have to throw in that pot and add to that wheel weight lead or whatever lead you're using. Throw them in there. Doesn't hurt it any. You know, whenever you go to scrape off all the top of it and get rid of that dredge, you know, you'll have a little more because if they're powder coated, obviously it's going to be a little bit dirtier, but that's it.
It stinks a little bit, so do it in a wide open area. But yeah. I've got 3 mason jars full of 223 bullets that have already been sized, powder coated, and all that. I'm just going to melt down. I can't hit the broadside of a damn 10 by 12 barn standing in the bastard. So I'm just melting down. I'll turn them into something else.
That's what I was going to say. The best thing, anybody that's thinking about starting to cast or powder coat, I would encourage you to just go ahead and be careful and protect yourself. Get your proper personal protection equipment, and then the worst thing that can happen is you'll have to start all over. So just keep yourself safe. Powder coating works best on a day that is not humid.
Which in Georgia means December.
Yeah, and the day that I did that first session, the powder coat, it was probably like 85 plus humidity.
Did you have like a mud basket full of glump? That's the only word I can describe it. Glump.
Well, I run a dehumidifier too. What are your opinions on that? Because it can get pretty humid here in Kansas City too.
Well, you're not going to dehumidify outside, which is where you need to be powder coating. Do not do it inside your house.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't do that. I don't have a house currently, but
well, do not do it indoors where you plan on breathing. Do it outside. Do not do it in your kitchen oven. You need a little toaster oven. You can pick them up at Goodwill. whatever, but do it.
So are you guys doing it in your garage with the door open, or are you literally outside?
I do mine I got a screened in back porch off the back of the house, and there's plenty of airflow there. There's actually 2 overhead fans in the ceiling. I rarely cut them on, but if I'm melting a bunch of bullets that I previously powder coated, I will turn the fans on because that can create a lot of fumes and smoke. And it's not that I'm worried about it, but it's just not pleasant to smell, It's just like melting the wheel weights and everything. You get the paint on the wheel weights, and all you're smelling is the paint burning off, and it's just like, ugh. But of course, when you're smelting wheel weights, there's also lead fumes and all that stuff if you let it get too hot. But
I cast outside. I smelt outside, but I powder coat inside with a fan on.
I've heard about those Mighty Armory 223 dyes.
So, Jamie, when you powder coat inside with the fan on, are you using the regular oven, or how are you doing it?
Just a little, a $10 toaster oven that I got from a pawn shop. The timer doesn't even work. I set the timer on my phone. So
yeah, you find them toaster ovens everywhere.
Yeah, you can get them cheap. And if something's wrong with them, don't worry about it. Yeah, if I had a good exhaust fan, I would not hesitate to cast inside, especially the setup that Nathan has. And by the way, I saw on Chico, you want to tell that what we saw about Nathan on Facebook?
Me? You want me to tell it? Sure.
Yeah, tell it.
So, you guys know Nathan, if you guys follow him on Facebook, I don't think he'll be mad because it's on Facebook. Everything happens on Facebook. So Nathan is now a honest man. So if y'all get a chance, y'all congratulate him. He was honest before. He's just real honest now. You have to be real honest. So that means he got hit.
He made an honest woman out of his girlfriend. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And Nathan, if you watch this replay, congratulations to you and Catherine.
I'm very proud of you.
We wish you many, many years of happiness together, and we love you and miss you, brother.
I can say this, man. If she was bold enough to accept that ring and put it on and say the words, I'm sure they're going to have many, many years together.
When I met up with them on my way back from Tampa last year, on coming back from vacation, actually to get my pistol that I left in Nathan's car, we met up, and those two are made for each other. they both give and take equally. It's funny to watch them interact. It really is. It was great meeting Catherine. I've never met her in person. It was great.
LBJ, that's a really good question because I had the same question I was going to ask as well about bacon in the oven, the actual oven itself. What's the issue there other than the fumes?
Everything that you cook in that oven since then will taste like powder coat.
Toaster strudels, don't do it.
This is what I heard. I had a coworker that actually was in the powder coating sector for a minute, and I was like, "Can I just cook this in the kitchen oven?" He said, hey, "If you want to get a new oven, because everything that you cook is going to just be ruined." Are you okay?
The dog tripped me.
I would say the lead poisoning would be an issue. I would never do that.
Well, it's not the lead poisoning; it's the smell. Those of us that do powder coat know the smell of cooking powder coat. That's what your biscuits and everything else you cook in that oven is going to taste like. And I'm pretty sure the fumes you don't want in your kitchen.
You'd
And
be
I
like,
can attest to the fumes of how bad the fumes are. Because the first time I powder coated, I actually did it inside. I didn't think about doing it outside. I did it inside, and that's probably why the second batch melted. But yeah, it was pretty bad smell.
yeah, it's like plastic, but not as strong as plastic because you got to think powder coat is a polymer. Most of it's a polymer.
Exactly,
coating.
Chico. It smells like melted plastic, and you got to.
But not as strong. Not as strong as if you melt some plastic. So, but you can that smell. You know. So I guess, like he said, if you did your biscuits, you'd be like, "That's Ford Light Blue I taste right there."
And you know what? Ford Light Blue is really good powder.
One of the best. But
It really is, but I don't want it in my breakfast.
well, no, and you don't want your wife to catch you powder coating your bullets in her oven either. That will be a bad day for. So, what? Let that be. Always remember that. Don't let your wife catch you powder coating in her kitchen oven.
And do not let your German Shepherd find your light violet Eastwood powder coat because she'll think that it's makeup and spill it all over the living room.
All right, so I have a question. I haven't used AR Comp yet, but I have my local FFL that has a bunch of it and at a really good price. And you guys know we're in tough times right now. So with AR Comp, do you guys have any experience with that? Is it a good powder? Is it worth buying it? Should I buy something else?
I've heard good and bad.
I've heard
If it's available, I'd buy it.
I've never used it, so I don't
I
know.
would too. I've heard good things about it also, but I've never used it.
never used it, but the Emperor loves it.
All right.
I
Well,
think I heard
if the Emperor loves it, that's good enough for me.
As long as the Emperor.
The Emperor loves it, it's good enough for me.
It's great.
Another one I heard was
And speak of the devil.
Uppy Pops.
And if Squatch, you need some, let me know, man. I'll pick some extra up.
Yeah, I'm out of rifle powder at the moment. My LGS has nothing. It's
All
been
right.
crazy
Well,
around.
I'll get a hold of them first thing in the morning, and we'll figure out the time and all the rest of it. But I'll pick some up.
Larry Palmer got a comment for you there, Scott.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't do 6.5 Grendel anymore, so, but it might work good in the 224 Valkyrie.
And the 308, John's hand loading says.
Okay.
Okay. Let me take care of a little bit of housekeeping right quick. If y'all remember the fundraiser we did for Mike Treen, and we had a lot of prizes donated and a lot of prizes given away. If you won a prize and you have not received it, please let us know. Send us an email at georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com and let us know if you have not received what you want.
I want a 586 Smith & Wesson 357 revolver, but I hadn't seen it yet.
You were dreaming.
I think I got one of those as well there, Kyle.
Hey, y'all need to quit eating Welsh rabbit before you go to bed at night.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many mushrooms you guys were eating, but yeah, no.
No mushrooms tonight. It was, but what is it? Lamb and cheese and tomatoes and
tzatziki sauce.
oh yeah, brother, you got it. You know it. You probably know where it came from.
All right. So one more powder question since I'm talking about powder. Winchester 231. They have a bunch of that too. Should I pick it up?
Yes, that is a great pistol powder.
Okay.
It is a spectacular pistol powder.
All right, because they got a ton of it too. And
It
again,
works in anything.
a damn good price on it too. So
From 327 Federal Magnum to 500 Smith & Wesson, it works in anything.
all right.
It is.
Yeah, they got a stupid price on it. They're not making any money on it. losing money, but that's okay.
Oh,
Do they have any primers, Scotsman?
They got Winchester primers. What primers you need?
I need small rifle primers.
Okay. I'll double check and make sure, but I'm pretty sure they got some. How many you need?
1,000.
Okay.
Yeah, just one or two bricks, whatever.
Now 400 will get me everything I got loaded.
Okay.
So look, I got a question for those who don't know and who's not familiar with Squatch's channel. You want to tell them what calibers you load, Squatch?
I do 308, 223, 40, 10 millimeter, 38, 357, 9 millimeter. Pretty much anything I can get dies for, and I got a pistol or a rifle for.
So you got the full spectrum covered. Good job.
Yeah, I'd like to get into my grandpa. He loaded a lot of the Ackley stuff. He liked all that. So eventually I'm going to get into something chambered in one of those Ackley improved cylinders and kind of do some old school stuff.
Willie Bulletman has a 257 Roberts Ackley improved.
Mm.
That's going to be a tack driver when he gets that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a bad round right there. That's a badass round.
Yeah, it is. It's basically a 30-06 case neck down, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It's a killer round.
I was low on small rifle primers too, James, and then I spent 300 of them loading on pistol brass. So
Find you a local small place, a local small shop. They're still open. That's where you're gonna find the stuff at.
Yeah. Like Chico, if you need primers or anything, hit up True Prep down there by Highway 5 and 41.
I'll check them out. I went by there the other day and they closed on me. It's because everybody had reduced hours or something. But
okay.
I went to Academy and bought 3,000 large rifle primers. I bought 3,000 of them. They had 3,000. I was like, give them here, and I got them in the sleeve too. So
go in there and talk to Stick and tell him go into True Prep, talk to Stick, tell him you know me. He'll take care of you.
Oh yeah. That's my FFL. That's where I get all my guns shipped too, because they don't charge a transfer fee. So
yeah,
and then I used to live like 2 miles from there.
They good people.
I was wondering what's the Shooter's World powder that similar to that AR comp. The name is almost similar, right, Jamie?
Yeah,
is it precision rifle?
I got my book right here.
Yeah, it's their precision rifle, and I was looking on Powder Valley yesterday, and 90% is sold out of all powders and primers too.
And y'all call me stupid for buying 8-pound jugs of powder.
And that's why I'm saying find you a local shop, small shop, and make friends.
Yeah, I think it's
where you're gonna get your stuff.
Wig right here.
Shooter's World Tactical.
Yeah, OCD's right.
Can you? AR comp is Vitivari N135 and Lever Revolution.
Yeah, and they were out of all of those.
So the Lever Revolution works pretty good in my lever guns. And one of my favorite powders, probably my favorite powder, period, for rifle, because I shoot so many lever guns. Y'all ain't going to believe this, but is Western Ramshot Tack.
Yeah, Ramshot's got a good line of powders too.
Yeah, Ramshot tack meter's great. I like that a lot.
I prefer Hodgdon and IMR. I do shoot a lot of Alliant powders in certain calibers. I call it Voody.
I just realized I didn't answer your question. So AR comp, the closest thing that they have to it is the next burn rate up, which is max rifle.
Okay. So is that which one it says? I think it's they got a powder called tactical something, right?
Yeah,
Tactical
they got tactical rifle. They got
Precision rifle. That's what it is.
precision rifle.
That's probably what I was thinking.
and precision is the same burn rate chart, same on the burn rate chart as Varget and IMR 4320. So
That's what it was. I seen an article that compared Varget and at Shooter's World, which went precision, what you just said. It was an article on, I think, the shooter, accurate shooter, if you guys are familiar. And they were very close. So Varget is very hard to find right now, if you can find it. And if you can find it, it's probably gonna be pretty pricey. I just like the smell.
precision rifle is Varget.
Yeah.
But the closest thing to AR comp is match rifle, and it's one spot slower. And then tactical rifle is 2 spots faster. So either one of them should be very close to. And understand this, I'm not telling you that you can use the exact same load data. I'm telling you it's the same place on the burn rate chart.
Mm-hmm.
So good night, Jeremy.
What are you doing, dingbat?
And Big E is absolutely right. Accurate powder before being bought out by Western was LoveX, aka Shooter's World. So if you can find some old load data from Accurate, for example, Shooter's World Buffalo Rifle and Western's 5744 is the exact same powder. It's like Winchester and H110. And I agree with this. I've not tried the H4350, but I was not impressed with Shooter's World 4350 and my 270 Winchester.
I went to go buy H4350 yesterday on Powder Valley. Said it was in stock. Put it in my cart. Went to go buy it, and before I even clicked purchase, it said out of stock.
Mm-hmm.
Problem with your cart, and it still showed when I went back to the page. It still showed they were in stock.
Scott,
So
if you need some 4350, I've got what's left of a pound. I tried some 223 rounds with. You can have it.
I've never tried it yet. I was gonna buy some to try it, and
I just don't use it. No,
that was the problem. That was the problem I ended up with.
Yeah, I heard it was a lot of people like it.
Trent, don't be saying such stuff as that. We're still going to dead zero. It's just not going to be on April 18th and 19th.
It's gonna happen. Don't be discouraged by all the stuff that's going on. Just bear in mind that we all stick together. We're gonna get through this, and we are gonna go. It's gonna happen.
Amen, brother.
Did the reloading press jump in there? I see people saying, "Oh, maybe that was old." Okay.
Like Bob Marley said it, every little thing gonna be all right.
You know what? I got a. Some of you probably already know this, or this is just what I do. You see this ammo can I got? This was the federal 120 round 5.56 comes in these. This is what I do because I shoot a lot of 22. I'll take a bulk pack of 522 long rifle cartridges, as you know that they're in the square box, and they will fit in here. And this is plastic. It's a lot sturdier than. I don't know why I brought that up. I figured it might help somebody. But if you go by like your bulk pack of 22 long rifle federal, we used to call them federal reds, especially when I was in my deal seeking stuff. It'd be like 525 rounds for $20 or less. But the box is square. Those 500 rounds will fit in here, no problem. And it's nice and sturdy.
Actually, Chico, it used to be $9.
Oh yeah.
I've still got several bricks in the gun safe with $9.99.
Yeah, I've got some of the bricks with the old packaging on it. That's how long ago, so they've changed the boxes over time. So
never get rid of it.
Yeah, that's the M855 green tip.
No, this was not. This was but I've got some of them too. That was just your standard XM 193s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time I bought the M855s, they were in cardboard boxes. And yes, Surrenda Acme does have the best boxes, and they love her so much they give them to her. Hold on, Chico. Let me get over there.
Oh,
they did it one time.
They did it one time.
But yeah, I do have some of the green tips too, though. But anytime I buy these in the past, I always keep the boxes because, like I said, when I go to the range, if I'm taking 22, I shoot a lot of 22. I'll just put a brick in here, basically, or I'll fill it up, and it's waterproof, basically. Not waterproof. I'm sorry, it's not cardboard. So it's if it gets wet, it can be sitting out in the rain. It ain't gonna. That was just a little random tip from the Dirty South, I guess.
All right, we've been kind of dancing around this. We've had a lot going on, a lot talking about. Good conversation tonight, guys. But I want to give Scotsman a minute to talk about this.
All right. Thanks, brother. Number one, guys, if you haven't done so yet, please do so. I know we're in tough times. I know money's tight across the board. I talked to Nick today, who is the owner of Frag Out Apparel, and we're nowhere near what I thought we would be. We all loved Mr. Holster. Mr. Holster was one heck of a man. Awesome videos, lots of knowledge, and helped so many people. And we're trying to help Mrs. Holster recover from the loss, recover from all the bills that are sitting there from the cancer. And Frag Out stepped up to the plate once again, no questions asked, no money down, any of that stuff. And we really need to try and do our due diligence. So here's what I'm asking from everyone. If you've not done a video promoting this, please do so. I'm gonna make a video asking everyone to do this as well. But if you know me and you can, please make a video, promote this, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, wherever you are, and let's drive this. The more we can help her, the better. There are some bills that I was told about. I'm not going to go into details. Those were told to me privately. But she's dealing with a lot. And again, Mr. Holster was near and dear to a lot of us and taught us all a lot. And those videos are still up there. And, as a community, we always come together and help each other out. And now's the time to help out Mrs. Holster the best we can. And this is an awesome opportunity to get one heck of a shirt from a very good company, an American company, a small business, and help take care of Mrs. Holster.
What about the fundraiser, the GoFundMe? Is it still up and taking donations?
So the GoFundMe's still up. I'm not going to play with it. I'm not going to mess with it. It's still up. If you want to donate on there, you still can. It's set at 8,500, but if it goes over that, you can still donate. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to take it down. I'm going to leave it sitting there. So if you guys want to donate, you can do so. It is appreciated. I'll tell you the last notification I got of her taking the money out the amount that was left in there was less than $35. And that tells you and tells me how much she needs that money. When she's taking out a $25 and $30 here, it tells me how much she really needs that money to take care of these bills and get things paid. And, you know, she's on the ranch by herself. She's still dealing with a lot of the animals that, unfortunately, he wasn't able to try and sell before he passed away. So there's a lot going on. She's still working. Fortunately, she's still, you know, doing that, but work plus the ranch is a lot for her.
Yeah, that's a lot of land, a lot of animals. So, guys, if you feel led, the Lord lays it on your heart, do what you can. And I know it's tough times. A lot of us guys are out of work and working half schedules and stuff like that. So we totally understand. But if you feel led, we'd appreciate helping out Mrs. Holster in memory of Mr. Holster. Good people, good hard-working people. Thanks, Tread. My brother Tread always good about posting links. Hey, Russ Bromelo, thanks for coming in, man. And thanks for watching it over tomorrow night. So with that, we need to start doing our house cleaning. Mr. Chico, you want to?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everyone, thanks for joining us for another Friday Night Georgia Shooting Connection. There was some good questions, and we bounce around sometimes, but that's just how we do, and because we kind of don't like the dead airspace. But it was some good questions. If you guys are not familiar, we do have a Georgia Shooting Connection Instagram page, and so if you got questions, you can message us over there, or you can send us an email. Questions, comments, concerns. If you want some topics discussed, you can send it to the email or the Instagram, and we will address those and get those answers. If we don't got them, we can find them. So thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks to Squatch for being our guest tonight. It was awesome having you on, brother, asking questions, learning about casting. That's what this community is about. You know, what anybody will help, not just on the panel, even in the side chat. So plenty of information and knowledge out there. So everyone, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. That's it for me.
All right. Thanks, Chico.
Anytime, bro.
We couldn't do this without you, man.
Oh, yeah, you could.
We won't. Let's put it that way.
Kyle, you want to go next, brother?
Yeah, sure. I want to thank everybody for joining in tonight. It was good. I'm sorry I had a late dinner, but I was here through the whole thing, and that was a really good dinner that she brought me. I can't thank her enough, and she's not out here anymore. But anyway, this weekend's going to be spent probably loading a lot of 223 and 44 Magnum. I'm good on 308s and 45. Might load some 9mm. Might do some casting. Depends on the temperature. If it was as hot as it is, or it was today. I mean, it was 90 degrees here today. It's not even April yet. Now it's ridiculous. But that's what I got coming up. I'm still at work. We're deemed necessary because we keep the trucks running that are bringing toilet paper to the grocery stores. So I still have to work every day. Squatch, want to thank you for being here. And yeah, it was cool. You asked a lot of good questions. Hope you got the answers that you were looking for. Sharinda, thank you for jumping in to beautify all of us. And Crazy Scotsman, yeah, you know. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo.
We'll let Sharinda go next.
I was about to say, I'm going to let Sharinda go.
Thanks for letting me loiter again tonight. As usual, can't talk straight. I don't know. I don't really have much going on other than it's always great to meet new, well, not new, everybody's new for me, but it's always great to put faces and personalities to some of you guys that I'm stalking on the gram and Discord. And I definitely want to say thanks for letting me pick y'all brains.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for being a most honored panel. Panel, you're pretty regular now, so yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
like that visitor that just won't leave.
Oh my goodness, I won't say what I'm thinking, but I'll tell you after in the after chat. What you got coming up, brother?
All right. Well, once again, thanks for having me, man. I love being here. It's always awesome to be here. Kind of like you on Sundays. It's always good having you, man. It's always good to be here on Fridays. I always look forward to this. And excellent to have Squatch Reloading with us. Glad he could make it on here. Thank you to everyone in the side chat. You guys are awesome. You all rock. Blowing the side chat up. Lots of good topics tonight. And that's all I got, guys. I'll try and get some more videos out this week of some loading and possibly a joint video with Squatch Reloading.
That would be epic. So thanks for being here, brother. We can't. You mean so much to our community, and about my 2000 video, man. I wanted that to be so much better, but I did put a lot of work into it, and I will work on getting a video out for the shirts and stuff. So I'll work on that hopefully tomorrow. And Mr. Squatch, last but certainly not least, our esteemed guest tonight. Thank you for being with us, brother. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody in the side chat. What you got coming up, Mr. Squatch?
Hopefully, me and Scott's going to hook up. He's going to get me started on some casting, but I got a lot of 9mm finish up, and just working on deemed essential as well. So, the big thing is, I just want to lift everyone up in prayer and, stand strong, and we'll get through this, and just support one another like we always have. And, Scotsman brought up, the Mr. Holster situation, and, just weighs on my heart and my mind a lot, what that family's going through. I just went through it myself, and whatever anyone can do to help, man, God bless you for that.
Absolutely. Brother, again, we thank you for being here tonight. And we, as always, you guys in the side chat, we had almost 50 at one point tonight. So, we were running a little more than that. But I think people are starting to find us again, and viewers are picking up. But remember, we do what we do on Friday nights for you, and we appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all were a blast tonight. Kept the topics moving, and everything was super seamless. So thank you all, and Lord willing, we will see y'all next Friday night at the same time. We're in touch, so y'all be in touch. And I hope God blesses y'all real good. See you next Friday. Y'all tell them bye, guys.
Good night.